Hello class, Steve Parker here again with the China and America Forum 3 presentation for World Problems 1010. Um, let's begin. Just some background on China and America. There's kind of been an increasing tension with the United States and China since the Xi Jinping took office roughly 5 years ago, the world leader of China, Xi Jinping. Previously, the U.S. has been seen as a world leader in economy and overall financial wealth and growth, but ultimately has taken the back seat to that of China's. China has become a geopolitical, economic, and security competitor, one with that of the United States will ultimately have to negotiate with moving forward, since they're kind of becoming that superpower. Basically, what the book had to state regarding this is that the U.S. in the late 1990s commanded 21% of the global GDP, compared to today's approximately 15.5%, so an obvious drop off there. China, on the other hand, and by contrast, has possessed less than 4% in the past, compared to today's nearly 18%, which is also a growing number. Moving forward to Washington's key components. In Trump's recent stance, he had backed off several elements of his campaign rhetoric. These, in which were included from the book, were the protectionism expressed as threats of dramatic tariff hikes, an inclination to alter the long-standing One China policy, and impulses toward conflict in South China Sea. Moving forward to the first summit was held in Mar-a-Lago Resort in Florida, where the two negotiated and settled agreements regarding the Obama-era strategic and economic dialogue. So just kind of piggybacking off of what was previously worked out with the Obama-era administration, kind of working towards with the new American leader versus what Obama had done with Xi Jinping. Sorry, kind of skipped ahead there. Also, another key component that has taken part in the Trump campaign is the denuclearization of North Korea. This is also kind of a fairly crucial issue, mainly just because this has been a long-standing issue with the U.S., and unfortunately it's looking like it will continue to be so. So moving on to North Korea and their nuclear weapons. There have been three key issues that the United States has been posed with regarding North Korea. These three issues include the fact that North Korea does have nuclear weapons, and we kind of have difficult decisions to make in regards to whether or not they will use them. The fact that North Korea has the ability to create these nuclear warheads is also a pretty severe issue. And then we are also kind of developing ideas on how to curb and limit that, and whether or not the use of brute military force is a reasonable option to kind of put this whole situation to rest. Ultimately, this unfortunately has left the executive branch with the difficult decision making and negotiating in regards to North Korea. So moving forward to Beijing and the role that it kind of plays in all this. Xi's foreign policy, ultimately, he is the one in charge. So right now, there's no feasible way to really work around him. Right now, the U.S. is mainly looking for ways to manipulate his decision-making and work towards a more peaceful outcome for all countries involved, mainly just because it would appear that Xi Jinping is going to be ultimately the long-standing leader in China and kind of be the main influencer there and in charge of a lot of their decision-making. And then moving towards the issues and approaches of the situation, just kind of piggybacking on what I was saying earlier, the book states that the comprehensive national power has three components. These three components would include the capacities to coerce, materially induce, and persuade. And then ultimately this is what will help foster that economic power and balance. Moving forward to negotiating and cooperation. From what I read in the book, I would say that the book is claiming the secret to this whole dilemma is a more selfless trading, and going back to kind of the tactics of the earlier 2000s era China. This was before they were really trying to become the major exporter of significant and source of outward investment. Ultimately, we have not really faced an issue such as this one since the Cold War era. We continue our interest in the multilateral trade arrangements while entertaining the idea of the bilateral ones as well. In regards to the security, we must decide where we stand, really. Do we strive for more balance in Asia or seek to maintain primacy in the region? What the ramifications boil down to is that the cooperation now must be negotiated between China and America. So thank you guys for watching and listening. Here are just my references. So obviously our book, Great Decisions, and then these are just the links to the pictures that I used in my slides. So thank you again for watching, and have a great night.